रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः. Uttarakhand, chapter number 36. Ravana at Narmada. The recitation begins now. Thereupon, having bowed unto Agastya, the foremost of ascetics, the highly effulgent Rama again surprisingly said, O Brahmana, O foremost of twice-born ones, when that cruel Ravana journeyed over the earth, was it void of people? Was there no king or prince on earth to administer punishment unto him? Were all the kings then shorn of their strength and prowess? And many kings, I hear, were vanquished and driven out by him with various excellent weapons. Hearing the words of Raghava, the ascetic Agastya, having 6 sorts of wealth, laughing, said like unto Brahma, speaking to Rudra, O Rama, O Lord of the earth, traversing the earth, Ravana arrived at the city of Mahishmati, resembling the city of the celestials, where lived perpetually the deity of fire. There reigned a king named Arjuna, effulgent like fire, which was kept perpetually in a well covered with sara. One day, the highly powerful Arjuna, the king of the Hayas, repaired to the river Narmada with his wives to sport. At that very day, Ravana, the lord of Rakshasas, arrived there and asked his counselors, saying, Where is the king Arjuna? Do ye speedily tell me, I am Ravana. I have come here to fight with your king. Do ye at first communicate unto him the news of my arrival? Being thus addressed by Ravana, the learned ministers informed the lord of Rakshasas of the absence of the king. Hearing of the absence of the king from the citizens, Ravana came out of the city and reached the Vindhya mountains resembling the Himalayas. He saw the mountains extending over the Vulcan like unto clouds and rising up as if riving the earth and obstructing the sky. The mountain had 1,000 summits, and the lions were residing in the caves, and hundreds of fountains were falling from it. The mountain was as if laughing aloud, and the celestials, Gandharvas, Apsaras, and Kinnaras were sporting there with their females, and it appeared in consequence thereof like the region of celestials. And the rivers with waters transparent as crystal were flowing, and it therefore appeared like 1,000 serpents having trembling tongues. And casting his looks upon Vindhya mountain, resembling the Himalayas, and having huge caves, Ravana, the king of Rakshasas, reached the river Narmada of holy waters, and going rapidly to the western ocean. Her waters were being agitated by buffaloes, deer, tigers, lions, bears, and elephants distressed by heat. Having covered her, Chakravakas, Karandavas, swans, watercocks, and sarasas, maddened, were emitting notes. The charming river appeared as a beautiful damsel, having blossoming trees for her ornaments, Chakravakas for her breast, widespread forest for her waist, and the row of swans for the mekhala, filaments of flowers for paste, watery foams for white silken cloth, the pleasure of descending into water for the pleasure of touch, and the full-blown lotuses for white eyes. Having descended from his car and bathed in the waters of Narmada, the foremost of streams, resembling a fair one, Ravana, the lord of Rakshasas, with his counselors, sat on her coast, recited by many an ascetic. Delighted at her beauty, and having spoken highly of Narmada like unto Ganges, he addressed his ministers Shuk and Saran with gestures, saying, Behold, having rendered the earth pale with his many rays, the sun, emitting parching heat, is in the sky. But seeing me here seated, his rays have become cool like those of the moon. At my fear, even the wind is blowing carefully, being cold and fragrant by the touch of the waters of Narmada and removing our toil. This charming Narmada, abounding in crocodiles, fishes, and birds, though a natural stream, is standing still like a terrified damsel. Being wounded in conflicts with many a king, your persons have been pasted with blood. Therefore, like unto Sarvabhauma and other infuriated elephants going down into the water of the Ganges, do ye descend into the waters of Narmada, conferring auspiciousness and health. Bathing in this stream, you will be cleansed of sins. I shall also, on the coast of this river, like the rays of the autumnal moon, reverentially worship with flowers Mahadeva, holding Pinaka in his hands. Hearing the words of Ravan, Prahasta, Shukar, Saran, Mahoda, Dhumrakshya, and other counselors descended into the waters of Narmada. And she was agitated by those elephant like Rakshasas, like unto leading elephants such as Vamana, Anjana, Padma, and others into the Ganges. Thereupon, having got up from the waters, the highly powerful Rakshasa called flowers for Ravana's offerings. And in a moment, the Rakshasas collected heaps of flowers on the picturesque banks of River Narmada, resembling the white clouds. Flowers being thus collected, Ravana, the king of Rakshasas, descended into the Narmada for bathing like a huge elephant into the Ganges. And having bathed, he got up, reciting excellent incantations. Thereupon, having left off his wet cloth, he put on a white one. And to find out a place for worshipping, he, with folded hands, proceeded towards the banks. And the Rakshasas too, like unto so many moving mountains, followed him. And wherever Ravana went, the golden Shivalinga was brought. Thereupon Ravana placed that upon a heap of sands and began to worship it with various nectar-smelling flowers and sandal. And having finished the worship of Shiva, the foremost of deities, having the moon on his crown, the conferrer of boons and the remover of miseries, the night ranger danced with uplifted hands and sang before it. Mangalam Koshalendraya Mahaniya Gunapte Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.